What is up, guys? Big Oats is back in town. Yeah, I know, I was gone for a while. I was on hiatus. I hope the audio mix is just right. I might have to check that in post. Might have to adjust it too. But I honestly don't think it should be that bad because it was coming in clear on my side. Besides, you know, being gone for a while because of writer's block, content block, because due to couldn't think of anything I could wanted to record. All the cool stuff was happening. Anyway, enough about me, because honestly, there was not really a whole lot. I got me a new headset, so hope I sound a little bit more crisp and clear. Welcome to Dark Souls 3 Guide. This is for the new players or the returning players and just lost their edge, and they just need a little help getting it back. So this is information for both the new and the returning players. I will be your guide, pun not intended, but pun's there, so take it how you want to. Big Oats. Now, let's go ahead and get this going. Mason, lay down. If you hear background noises, that's my dog. Honestly, if you want to watch that cutscene, watch it on your own time, because for reality's sakes, cutscene doesn't change, regardless of what you think. And it just doesn't change, honestly, and I've seen it like a couple hundred times, so that just did nothing. Go ahead and put my name as nothing special. I mean, you can name your character literally whatever you want to. If you want to name your character whatever, go right ahead. Gender has no effect on gameplay. It just, if you made changes to your character, go right ahead and just go ahead and switching genders will affect those changes, and by that I mean reset them all. Age also has no effect on it. I've literally played as all three ages, and I can confirm it does not affect gameplay. Now, when it comes to choosing classes, it is mostly an easy versus hard scenario. Now, if you're a brand new player, you're just opening up this game for the first time, you don't know what class to choose, I would suggest that you go as the knight or the warrior. The knight can take a lot of damage, and the warrior can dish out a lot of damage. And it's perfectly built for a strength build. The mercenary, if you have like a couple runs under your belt, definitely at least one. Same thing for the herald and the assassin, sorcerer, pyromancer, and cleric. The hard ones are the thief and the deprived. Those are for basically veterans. Basically, at that point you have to really decide where you're gonna go, and are you gonna just go straight soul level 1? This would be the character you do it as, because they are soul level 1. Or do you just want to make things a lot harder by giving yourself a bandit knife and a little nice shield? Well, I am choosing the warrior. Not going to be making a whole lot of changes to my character. Probably going to be changing out the shield. Not going to be changing out the battle axe, because the battle axe is actually one of the best strength weapons to have. Now, when it comes to choosing burial gifts are basically you wake up and you have it, whether you have it equipped or you have it just on you. The life ring increases your health. Good for new players, but I wouldn't suggest taking it even if you are a new player. Divine Blessing, not really that great. Hidden Blessing, not really that great. Black Firebomb, decent, not that great. Fire Gem, why? Sovereignless Soul, okay, I mean, a little couple extra levels, I mean, in the early games, but pointless. Rusted Gold Coin, really pointless. Cracked Red Eye Orb, why? I'm on offline, why do I need this? And the Young White Branch. Now, I'm not going to say anything bad against it. I mean, it is a PvP item because it can mess with the lock-on system, but as far as PvE, it's actually unnecessary to have at least one of these. And honestly, it will be shown later. So let's go ahead and choose it, because I chose it. And I'm just going to go default, going to go ahead and go burly, since my character is going to be a strong man. He needs to be burly. And there's your build. Now when it comes to all of the stats that you see right there, it looks confusing for if you're a new player. I will be going over those when we go ahead and load into it. Yes, start the character. We're going to be going into another cutscene, which I'm going to skip, because if you want to watch cutscenes, probably the only ones I won't skip are the boss cutscenes, and there's not many of them. I think they're in total, there's like 3 or 4. 4 or 5, actually. Because I'm just trying to think of all the boss cutscenes. Yeah, there's only like a few. There's not many. So, probably go and get those going. Sorry, I kind of just woke up, so I kind of wanted to go ahead and start working on this series, because I was kind of requested of doing it. Yeah, okay. I said I was going to, and it was mostly done. Now, let's go ahead and get those stats out of the way. Now, explanations. Do that by, if you can read the buttons, you can know. Covenant, basically useful information about your covenant. And I'm not in the covenant right now because I haven't found one yet. Level, I mean, there's not really much explanation in level. Souls, required souls, I mean, that's just if you want to see how many baddies you're gonna have to beat the crap out of just to be able to get it. Vigor is HP, attunement is FP. I'll explain what FP is in a little bit. Endurance is the stamina. Stamina is basically one of the blood essences of Dark Souls. Vitality, kind of a secondary skill, not really needed, but not exactly a bad thing to have. Strength, really not a bad thing to start out with. Dex, intelligence for your intelligence and faith for pretty much your pyromancy and your wizard classes, and luck. Honestly, if you just want really good chances of getting really good items, go ahead and get this. Otherwise, it's kind of a useless skill. The main stats I'm going to be focusing on, and honestly, if this is your first run, you should be too, is vigor, endurance, vitality, and strength. The rest are kind of iffies. Well, luck definitely is an iffy. The others are not really, I'm not going to touch. Dex, not really. Intelligence, no. Faith, no. And attunement, no. Now, what is FP? Well, if you're a Dark Souls 1 mega player, FP is going to be a new stat that you're not going to be 100%. It's actually kind of a new in-game feature that honestly kind of did away with the old, which was have multiple scrolls. I'm actually kind of amazed that they switched features, or switched, I guess features would probably be the best, which is FP. FP is basically your mana pool. Yes, now your actual spells actually require mana, not scrolls. Because in Dark Souls 1, for those who are new and haven't even played Dark Souls 1, you needed scrolls. You needed to have basically a wizard and buy a select amount of scrolls. You can have a good stack of like 99 of each scroll, but the thing is that once you casted it, that scroll would be useless. These are all tutorials, it's not players. Now the warrior starts out with a battle axe and his own wooden round shield, which is decent, not great. 86 fizz block. I focus on the fizz block because you're never going to have a shield that blocks everything. You come down to the right, you actually get your first actual official soul. As I said, sorry about the weird noises coming from me. I'm just waking up, so I'm a little... Go ahead and just do backstabs if you're really good at them. If not, don't worry about them. It took me a good little bit to actually get a good backstab in. Always make sure you take those 3 items off your hotbar, otherwise you might accidentally press the down button and find yourself in a bit of pain because you weren't on the right item. they automatically link to your hotbar, except for certain items. I don't understand the hotbar. Notice how I took very little damage because he's only doing 20% damage. He's going to do a little bit more because his bolts are fire. Also, I hate it when he ambushes. Yes, there is an archer up here. Fading Soul. Awesome. One of 2 main drops that these guys can give, which is the Cleric Chime and Fading Souls. Fading Souls just give you a little extra souls, and Cleric Chime is basically your beginning Cleric Charm. I think even the Cleric doesn't have the Cleric Chime, and I think it's slightly better than the starter Cleric. I think. Don't quote me. It might be the exact same thing. I don't know. I haven't played a Cleric in a long time. I always have bad luck when I play as a Cleric. Go ahead and kill this guy. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab all the items, so go ahead and just kill these guys. Fading Soul. Awesome. Another one. I'm not gonna oppose them. So these episodes are gonna run somewhere between 30 minutes to 45. Because... well, just because if I'm not in a good position, it'll go a little bit longer, but I'm aim for 30. But I got this thing recording for 60 at a time, so, you know. And I'm sorry if you hear a lot of noise in the background. It's also my cats are playing. Probably playing like with a little mouse and or the headphones, because it's unusual to see a string hanging down. You dumb. But yeah, whatever your fizz block you can take, honestly, then just subtract it from 100. Because 100 means you're 100% blocked. So 86, give or take, I'm only guarding about 24. I'm only going to be receiving 24% of damage. And sometimes that's very menial, because now, a little interesting little tidbit, a little cheese way, is when he's doing, you can hit him before his health bar shows up. Now, always block his attacks, and if you can, try to get him to do that jumping attack. Ow. Okay, he got me in that. Come on, don't be. Not gonna do anything fancy. I might go ahead. Oh. Always aim for his right side and just wail on him if you're able to. Okay, I'm gonna activate War Cry. Show you guys that in a bit. Done. Honestly, once you get a little bit of practice in on him, he's really not that hard. And don't forget to do your Dark Souls salute, which is just spam the crap out of and block. Or you can just spam any emote, don't matter. Now, what was Warcry? Warcry is basically another new little feature that I don't think was in Dark Souls 1. May have been. But basically, now your weapons have another ability in them. You can see what it is when you actually press it and go and press X or press square. If you look on the bottom, it says skill, Warcry, let out a spirit of war that temporarily boosts attack. Okay, so it doesn't actually. I thought it boosted everything, but it doesn't. Okay. But still, boosts attack. That's still a little bit better than what I... Now, we're pretty good here. There's no items to pick up here. Generally isn't. Sometimes I forget if there's any items. Honestly, I might have enough time to do Lothric. gonna go ahead and take a drink of my bean juice. Okay, moving on. These guys have very weak shields, so honestly the best thing to do is just hit them until they go in for the attack. Go ahead and grab your homeward bone. Now, if you want to deal with this, this ambush, you can, but sometimes you will die, sometimes, depending on what character you're running. However, if you want to be sneaky beaky, there is a way to actually take them down without them even noticing. If you come up here and come left, they don't activate. These guys only activate if they're activated. If they're not activated, they don't activate. And then you can just come down here and kill these guys all willy-nilly. Then you don't have an archer or a spear boy fucking attacking you. Pardon my language, by the way. You might hear a couple curse words here and there. It's because I'm former military, so our language is pretty much resorts around cursing. If you don't oppose to it, it's fine. Fading Soul. How many of those do I have now? 4. East to West shield. Not a great shield. Not a terrible shield. Definitely better than the Deprived's wooden shield. Come over here, grab your free ember. Come over here. Run all the way over here. Also come down here, get an ambush on a dog, and get your free ember. Reason I say free, because embers cost about 2,000 souls per. So right now, I can only afford 1. Well, 2,000 to 2,500, depending on who you buy from. Now let's go ahead and see if I can do Swordmaster. Now this is an NPC you're not technically supposed to fight until later in the game. But a lot of people have actually just gotten used to coming up here and cheesing him a little bit, which if you come to this far edge, you can sometimes get lucky. I did not get lucky. That will happen a lot, because they did fix it to where his AI tracking is a little bit better. He will not fall for that too many times. You will die a couple times. But bright news is I only lost an ember and about 3,000 souls. No big deal, honestly. I can seriously make up those 3,000 souls fairly quickly. Am I going to pop an ember? No, not right now. Reality sakes is that I don't need it, especially depending on how Swordmaster acts. Honestly, if you want to just skip all these guys, you can. Just go up the main path. You don't even have to worry about them. They don't activate or they don't do anything. They're just kind of here if you want to farm something for easily. They don't give dick all for... They don't give that many souls, so don't like expect like massive amounts. I don't know if they can mess it up. Another 2 more fading souls. Holy crap. YouTuber's luck. Oh, son of a bitch. He didn't go. Come on. Go back into your spot. Honestly, if you're playing as the magic class, you already have a slight edge on him because he's not good with ranged. I don't know if I'll be able to trick him. Well, I fucked up. That will happen too. Oh, hey, and I got his souls before I died. Awesome. That will happen a lot. Alright. No, I won't have enough time. So, actually, I just looked at the time. I do not have enough. I might be able to push it to at least get you to Lothric real quick. Thank goodness I did not waste an ember. That would have been just useless. I was too far on the edge. I died. It's no big deal. That happens. Honestly, when it comes to Dark Souls, you're going to die really stupid ways. Whether it's gravity or what have you. Just take it with a grain of salt. Honestly, the best thing I can tell you. You're going to die. That will happen. And plus, it makes then loading this area a little bit easier. I'll tell you another trick whenever you are able to do this. When they do fall and they have like will drop items, like it is guaranteed to drop, not on that whole BS of luck. No, if it's guaranteed to drop, if you reload the area by, say, quitting, go into your settings, quitting, it will automatically come into their spawn location, Uchi Katana and whatnot. But if you're a new player and you don't feel comfortable dealing with him, I understand completely. Don't worry about him. He's literally just going to be there the entire game. But the reason I like to deal with him early, though, is so I can have an extra summonable for future boss fights. I think he's only good for like 2, which is kind of sad. I figured they put more, but he's not good for more. And welcome to Firelink. You have your level up, shop, and your gear level up. That's and you can, as you can progress through the game, you're gonna get more NPCs that do unique things. You'll get Grey Rat, who sits down there. You'll get Corvix, Wizard Dude, I forget his name sometimes. Obrek, I think it's the name. You get Lady Teresa. I don't really know her name either. I don't think she officially has one. You got Hawkwood, who just likes to be a sulking baby. And then you'll get Yol and Yuria. But those guys are for future endeavor. Let's go ahead and talk to her. Don't need to level up right now. I mean, I could, but I'm also going to go ahead and show you guys how to get to the glitch spot. It's not technically a glitch because I don't know if it was intentional design or not, but I do know it became intentional design later, because the fact is that they started putting an item that wasn't normally there. So if you come up here, come to the giant's tree, if you go left at the main door, then you'll see basically a giant tree. That's a Dark Souls 1 reference, or Dark Souls 2. I forget. Anyway, if you come up here and come over to this tower, you can't officially enter this. It's locked. You have to pay 20,000 souls. However, if you look on that roof, would you look at that? A new item. If you actually time it just right, sometimes you might have to remove your clothes depending on how overweight you are. Like, I'm sitting at a staggering 57%. It's not really based off of it, but you're able to jump up here. I can't actually believe I actually almost did that almost flawlessly. I literally only messed up once. Anyway, not gonna change that. Moving on, and you come on in here. You wander in here. Do be careful. This can kill you. Just because there's ash on the ground does not mean it can kill you. There's not enough ash to protect you. Hello, Pickle Pea. Technically, you're Pickle Pea, Pump a Rump and Crow, but now, how you do that? You go into your inventory, you highlight an item, leave it. Do not discard it. Discarding it will basically mean it will just disappear completely. If you leave it, Pickle Pea will then take it and then use it for something else. Homeward Bone. You can get a bunch of items from her, or it, honestly, because I don't know. And you can also get a Eustace Shard. You're not technically supposed to get that until later in the game. Now, you want to see a magic trick? Presto changeo, walls disappear. Come down here. Come grab the famous ring, the covetous serpent and silver serpent ring. This ring is actually one of the best rings to have early off in the game, because if you have it early off in the game, it makes leveling up so much quicker. By the time you reach, say, an area where you're gonna be like level 20, if you do a normal playthrough, you'll be level 30 because you're getting an increased amount of souls. It's not by a whole lot, but even a little bit actually helps. That's all for this area. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the next area, show you guys the new area, well, the other area, and I'm honestly gonna call that a good episode because it's about, give or say, about 26 minutes. I don't want to tell you entirely, but go to the High Wall of Lothric, you press travel, go to the High Wall of Lothric, and now, welcome to the High Wall of Lothric. Welcome to Dark Souls. That was just the beginning. Welcome to Dark Souls. As soon as it's done loading. Spooky. Go ahead and open the door because you're just in this random room that oh god, I just saw my character's eyeballs. That's not supposed to be a thing. There's nothing over there. There's generally nothing in the starting area. I don't know why they wouldn't have been able to put something there. I feel like they could have, but I think they just did it for design. Well, now we're in the thick of it. Well, honestly, the thin of it, and I forgot to go ahead and put in my Eustace shard. I might do that real quick off camera for a second, and then I might actually return with episode 2. You'll see 4 charges instead of 1. Actually, you'll see 5 charges because I'm going to a lot. Actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and put that in the episode 2. I'm not going to do that off camera. So you're going to travel back to the Firelink Shrine once you activate this bonfire, because Andre does now have a new feature. Actually, there's 2 new features that are technically in the game. I mean, besides the FP, so 3 new features. FP is 1. A whole new spell mechanic is 1, basically. But now, due to that mechanic, there's also a new feature for those who are melee focused and not magic focused. You go to Andre. Yeah, let him just go through it because I forgot to talk to him. Can also just talk to him and get your, just spam it. You get hurrah, something that you would have to learn. There's also a new feature, a lot Eustace. You can choose how much of where your Eustace goes. Now, since I'm going to be a melee focused character, I'm going to 4 and 0. Now, if you're like a magic based, I would suggest doing like 1 or 2 because it fills up your FP bar a good chunk. And not to mention, if you do increase one side, if you get the bone shards, it affects both. It doesn't just affect one. But I'm just going to go ahead and just do 4 and 0 because I am not a melee focused. Also, I'm going to go, he now reinforces them. But I think he's always reinforced, but I'm not sure. No, wait, no. He now reinforces it if you give him Eustace flash shards. I think that's from a Dark Souls 2 reference. And now, before I even get to the first boss, I have 5 uses of my Eustace. Now let's go back to High Wall Lothric, and we'll go ahead and round up this first episode. First of all, got to go through the long loading screens. Alright guys, this is a good first episode to go ahead and leave off on. Ash in the Wind, dead dragons in the forefront. We got a long adventure ahead of us, but this is a good starting episode. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you like this content, you want to see more, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you want me to play something else, do some challenge runs, please comment in the comment on the video. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next video. Deuces.